May the Lord be with you.
And also with you.
Christ has risen.
Christ has risen indeed.
It's time to hear one of God's stories. This is the Sea of Galilee. And so many amazing things happened here that we need a small piece of it here in this room. And the sea is such a wondrous and beautiful place. It's strange and wild, and when the wind blows, the sea becomes rough and wild. And when the wind is calm, the sea is peaceful. And still. After God raised Jesus from the dead, 7 disciples returned to Galilee, where Jesus had told them to meet him. And one evening, they decided to go fishing. And they fished all night. And they caught nothing. And just after daybreak, they saw someone on the beach. But they couldn't tell who it was. And he called out to them, "Have you caught any fish?" "No," they answered. "Cast the net to the right side of the boat, and you will find some." And so they did. There were so many fish, they couldn't even drag in the net. Someone said, "It's Jesus!" Peter jumped into the water and ran to him. The others came in the boat, dragging the heavy net with all the fish. And when they came ashore, they saw a charcoal fire with fish and bread on it. "Come and eat," Jesus said. And the disciples realized this was Jesus. And then Jesus took the bread, he broke it, and gave it to them. They ate the bread and also the fish. I wonder how the disciples feel when Jesus doesn't seem to be around much anymore. And I wonder why they decided to go fishing. I wonder how they feel fishing all night and catching nothing. I wonder what Jesus and the disciples are saying to each other when they finally get to see one another. I wonder how the person on the beach knows where the fish are. It's time to light the Christ candle. As we enjoy the light here in this place. The story that we heard today is in the Bible. In the book of John, chapter 21, Jesus appears again to the disciples. Later, Jesus himself appeared again to the disciples at the Sea of Tiberias. This is how it happened. Simon, Peter, Thomas, Nathanael, and 2 other disciples were together. Simon Peter told them, "I'm going fishing." They said, "We'll go with you." And they set out in the boat. But throughout the night they caught nothing. Early in the morning, Jesus stood on the shore, but the disciples did not realize who it was. Jesus called out to them, "Children, have you caught anything to eat?" They answered him, "No." He said, "Cast your net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some." So they did, and there were so many fish that they couldn't haul it into the net. The disciples, whom Jesus loved, said to Peter, "It's the Lord." And when Simon Peter heard it was the Lord, he wrapped his coat around himself and jumped into the water. The other disciples followed in the boat, dragging the net full of fish, for they weren't far from shore, only about 100 yards. And when they landed, they saw a fire there with fish on it and some bread. Jesus said to them, "Bring some of the fish that you've just caught." Simon Peter got up and pulled the net to shore. It was full of large fish, 153 of them. Yet the net hadn't torn, even with so many fish. And Jesus said to them, "Come and have breakfast." None of the disciples could bring themselves to ask him, "Who are you?" They knew it was the Lord. And Jesus came, took the bread, and gave it to them. He did the same with the fish. And this was now the 3rd time Jesus had appeared to his disciples after he was raised from the dead. We'll change the light of the Christ candle so that you know that the light and warmth of the Christ candle and Jesus' love is with you in all places, in all spaces, at all time. Amen.